So here we are, guys. We're right out here on the shores of the beautiful Gulf of Mexico dead zone. Should be plenty of fish out there, and they're going to be dead if you know what I mean, because we're going to be catching all kinds of them. We got a great show lined up for you today. I'm Dan, and I've got one of the hardest working bass fishing guys in the industry here with me today. He once caught a bass with his big toe and a pair of pliers. This is Nathan Adam, everybody.
Hey Dan, it's real good to be here. I've got my camo on, my orange vest, got my 30-06, ready to kill me some fish.
Wait, you're gonna shoot him with your 30-06?
Well, yeah, that's what we're doing. We're hunting, right?
No, we're fishing, man.
Oh, that explains the boat.
Yeah, we're gonna catch us some largemouth bass today. But before we get there, we'd like to thank our audience. Natron, could you put down the Pokemon Go for a second?
I can't help it.
God damn it.
There's a Pikachu.
You're gonna fall in the water.
I don't see how they can stand in this water. We're surrounded by them, Dan.
Pikachu's out here in the dead zone.
Hypoxiasm.
So when we do a podcast, we're supposed to focus on a target audience and never lose sight of that target audience. I've been doing a lot of research in my spare time, actually. I feel like most of these podcasts that we do are just thoughts that me and you have, and then we share them with everybody. And there are ideas, so obviously they're all over the place.
Sure, right? I wouldn't expect anything less.
So I don't think we have any focus whatsoever.
Well, Dan, when you start throwing out words like target audience, marketing, that's just so exhausting.
I feel like I should be wearing a suit right now and a briefcase, but that's just not my style.
I'd rather just be having a good time.
Yeah, that's true. But they say, don't do a podcast to tell a skinny guy how to tack on mass, then do a podcast to tell a fat guy how to get lean.
Oh, you can't do that?
No, we're a little unorganized, unorthodox, but I like that.
I love it.
Matter of fact, we've been getting some great comments lately. We'd like to thank Derek Harris. We don't want to be too loud. We're going to scare the fish away here.
Right.
We want to thank Derek Harris for always listening to the show. We saw him in a bar in our hometown, Sullivan, Missouri, the other night. I don't know if I should say that too loud. We played him My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion while he was trying to perform in a dart game. Lost all composure.
Sure.
But he said he loved the show, and we really appreciate it, Derek. So thanks for listening.
We love you.
We love you very much. We want to apologize this week for making fun of rednecks. Actually got a comment from somebody I know. They said, guys, the show is great. I love it. I love the way that you present information and you make us laugh at the same time. But maybe a little less redneck bashing. Well, we don't mean it personally. It's just that we're familiar with a lot of people who are rednecks, and we grew up in Sullivan, Missouri, so.
Right. It's really the only group of people that I feel comfortable critiquing in that manner.
Right.
Because I know them so well. I've grown up with them. I've laughed. I've cried. I've bled with them.
And you feel like, as much as you can't help it, they're a part of who we are.
They are, and so, like you said, we don't mean it personally. It's just, we know you so well.
We always like to think of the South and rednecks as kind of like the Dukes of Hazzard. You know.
The South will rise again!
Yeah. Spinning out in the Charger with a Confederate flag on there, sliding across the hood of the car, jumping in through the windows. They're a rowdy bunch, and they're proud of it.
Right, ramping through hay bales.
Yep.
Causing police to throw their hats down.
Then the police pull them over, and they say, are you in the military? Your sergeant wouldn't like it if you were doing this. Get on home now.
Seen that happen in real life, Technicolor.
Well, we're being awful loud here with the fish on this here boat. So what's your technique when you come out here to the dead zone, Natron?
I like Dan to be first and foremost patient.
Okay.
Fishing is no instant gratification. You gotta wait. I like to dangle the line out there, wiggle it around a bit, reel her in nice and slow. And when I feel that snag, I just yank and reel.
That's what she said.
Almost verbatim.
Yeah. Looks like you got a bite there, bud. Oh. Get him.
Right.
Reel him on in. Reel him in.
Told you.
Come on.
Dangle it out there, wiggle it about a bit.
He's telling us. Look at the master at work. He's telling us how to do it. He's got a fish on that line right now. Reel him on in.
Get the net, Dan. Get the net.
I got the net. Look at this bass master go. This guy has caught fish all over the country. He's like a fishing Adele singer here.
Boy, I tell you, this one's a fighting, though. This is a feisty one.
Yeah. Look at that fight. Don't lose him now. I hear that drag running pretty hard on there.
She can take it.
You know, Adele, she sings like you fish. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, I know.
Oh, you also like to squirm all over the floor with a bottle of liquor, belting out Adele's songs. But that's a different story.
Yeah, well, that's after hours.
All right, don't let up.
I ain't letting up.
That looks like you got him. Here it comes.
All right, here she comes. You ready?
I got the net here.
All right.
Got it.
There she is.
Oh, it's an old boot.
Wow.
And I tell you what, this is one hell of a boot you got here.
You know, I thought I'd be disappointed in such a boot. But did you look at that thing?
Well, that thing is that steel-toed?
I think so.
That's a quality work boot right there.
Yeah, it's still got the lace in.
You know, something about catching a bass or a work boot makes you feel a little sexual.
Yeah, it makes you feel like a man. That's what you're saying.
Put a little lipstick on that boot, take her home on a Saturday night. Woo!
It's like time for Facebook Inspirationals.
I've got one here from my friend Darren Sims. I don't know if I've included Darren in on the show, but he's one of our regular listeners. I always appreciate it. I usually have to remind him to listen. I'm like, hey, Darren, would you go listen to the podcast when you get a chance? And he's like, anyway, Danny, I had something important to say. Are you done? And I'm like, yeah, sure. He's like, no, I'm just kidding. I'll listen to it. And he usually does. But he wrote one this week, and it says, Dear my power/electricity, you've been off long enough. Get your shit together and get back to work.
Ooh! If you're living in, what would this be, East Central Missouri, you really understand where we're coming from with that one.
My next one is from one of my favorite Facebook posters ever. I can always get on Facebook, and I can see posts from my friend Sherman D. Barry.
We love Sherman here.
Yep, I've got another Facebook post from Sherman. It says, another wonderful day coming to a close, so good night, friends. Conducted bingo at Rosewood Manor today and had fun. Now looking forward to another wonderful day tomorrow. Life is good and gets better every day.
I love how he gets that music to lay in behind it.
He's earned it.
Conducted bingo. A more inspirational phrase has hardly been uttered. It's unfortunate that I have to follow a Sherman D. Barry post. It's not nearly as inspirational as Sherman, and it comes from a dear friend, Ethan Meyer, a St. Louis area artist who has probably never ever listened to the show. But this one comes from him being very relevant to our Pokemon Go situation. It says, 2006, quote, I bet in 10 years we'll cure cancer, inhabit the moon, have world peace. End quote. Then below it, it says 2016 and has a picture of a highway scene and one of those Department of Transportation signs where they write special messages to you, and it says 2016, don't Pokemon and drive.
Don't Pokemon on the go.
We have not cured cancer. We have not inhabited the moon. We do not have world peace. But we do have Pokemon Go.
We got priorities, yo. Let's play fill in the blank headlines.
My whole life is an app. Download the Natron app.
The Natron app.
For my life.
Get it on Google Play now, or through your Apple Store.
Right. You could be fishing with Dan right now, live on the Natron app.
Out here in the dead zone.
Where nothing but algae grow.
The Mississippi empties out into the Gulf of Mexico around the dead zone. And actually, it's been said that the dead zone is almost as large as the state of Connecticut, which is a pretty good sized portion of the Gulf of Mexico.
And marine life can't, basically, if they swim into that area, they can't breathe.
Can't breathe.
Stay away.
What's going on? I can't breathe over here.
What's all this algae doing here? Well, the Mississippi catches about 40% of all of the runoff that happens in the continental United States. So
We're going to do something called Fill in the Headlines today. Natron, can you fill in the headlines?
I'll do my best.
All right, we're going to give this one to
Give
you.
her hell. Like I gave that boot hell.
I'm going to give you a headline with a blank in there. Basically, you're just going to fill in the single word that is missing.
Alright, well, it's kind of like Mad Libs.
In a way. Mike Pence has accepted Donald Trump's VP offer. New Jersey Governor Blank is expected to be released out of captivity shortly.
Ronald McDonald.
We were looking for Chris Christie.
Oh, the guy who ate Ronald McDonald.
Now you're talking.
Bingo.
Republicans were turned off by the size of Obama's
Earlobes.
very likely, but we're looking for another word here.
Size of Obama's
He's a black man.
kitchen remodel. It was stupendous in its scale.
They were turned off by the size of Obama's package.
Oh,
You know, all the
is that a
money.
euphemism?
Yeah. All the money he wanted to spend. Okay. Court denies NFL quarterback Blank's appeal.
Joe Montana? Joe Montoya?
Joe Montana retired a long time ago. We're talking about current headlines here.
Oh,
The
right.
quarterback we were looking for is Tom Brady. But the rest of the league is very pumped, except for the Cleveland Browns, who know what it's like not to have a quarterback.
Yeah, for most of the better part of a decade.
Number 4, 0 for 3 so far, Israeli army warns soldiers over the blank app craze.
Pokemon Go.
Oh my gosh, you got one right. Yes, the Israeli Defense Forces has issued a message to soldiers that the new Pokemon Go app is not to be used on military bases. They don't want anyone to catch all the top secret information. Did you get it? You gotta catch it all.
I thought maybe they were warning them. So, hey, you're gonna encounter some dumbass 20-something wandering onto this military base searching for Pokemon. Do not shoot him. Or her.
Number 5, Blank said, I'm trying to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.
Mayor McCheese.
Is that even... Are you still going with the McDonald's theme here?
Yeah, well, I thought that was the thing. Are we still talking about Chris Christie? Was it Chris Christie?
That was earlier. Mayor McCheese. Chris Christie is, what was the purple one's name?
Grimace.
Grimace.
Because that's the look on my face every time I see Chris Christie.
Oh, it was Hillary Clinton actually said that we have to get Pokemon Go to the polls.
Man, no wonder no one likes that lady.
Which
How
rocketed...
lame that is.
I know. Which rocketed Trump to an insurmountable 95 to 5% lead. This is the science portion of our show,
Alright.
and we lead off with something really exciting. Marijuana contains alien DNA from outside of our solar system.
What?
NASA has confirmed this.
So did they find DNA from outside the solar system to compare to?
Just kidding.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
We...
Doing mental hurdles to try and figure that one out. How did they do it?
We are going to put this up at the very front of our show to get everyone to listen to it. And it's going to be a total lie. But, you know, what's the ultimate goal here?
30% or so of people who actually click on links. We'll get them to listen.
So this actually led to a study. There's an article, I think it's on IFL Science, that was very interesting, and you've read it as well. The study found that up to 59% of links shared on Twitter have never actually been clicked by that person's followers. So people are really lazy. They like to scroll. They don't like to click.
Yeah, well...
Or share their own
the article
stuff.
also says that they... states that they share information which they feel presents a certain image of them that they find positive. So, you know, they're finding headlines that reinforce the image that they want to put out there in the world, and they just share it.
From the study, almost 7 out of 10 people would put something out there to get positive reinforcement, as opposed to educate the world around them. Yeah, people will actually just look at the title of an article and disagree on it based on that, rather than actually thinking, well, maybe I'm wrong. Let me read this article and find out what's actually in there. And something that they comment about may actually be included within the article, sometimes within the first few sentences. They can be proven wrong. Are you wondering where all your socks and guitar picks are going?
Yes, I am. Do you have them?
I don't, actually. I'm losing a lot myself. I used to have a Jesus guitar pick, and it was with me for a long time, but now it's gone.
I used to have the pick of destiny.
I've got some of those somewhere, too.
Pick that looked just like that one from that movie.
Well, we may have an answer here. Excuse me. People never take this show seriously whenever I start belching.
Well, you know, you're fishing, so you gotta be drinking.
Right. Well, the ESA has announced that Earth's magnetic field is not exactly sealed, so I'm saying this could be where our socks and guitar picks are going. For example, at our planet's poles, the field lines are open, which allows solar particles to enter and fill our magnetosphere with energetic particles. You've heard of the northern lights and the southern lights?
The Aurora Borealis.
Aurora Borealis and Aurora Australis.
Ah, there you go, that other one.
Yeah. Particles from Earth's upper atmosphere, or the ionosphere, can escape the same way as they can come in from those lights, those solar winds, basically, traveling up through the poles and being lost in space, where our socks and guitar picks are going.
Interesting. It must be the static charge created from a dryer that connects it to that, polar escape.
You're on to something.
Just good science, Dan.
Astronomers have now determined a nearby brown dwarf has some exciting characteristics. Its atmosphere is full of clouds of water vapor.
Oh.
Now, Jupiter actually has a really hot core, and it's not quite a brown dwarf. It's not hot enough or big enough to be a brown dwarf, but it's surprisingly hot on the inside. Just thought I'd point that out. And then you could think of Jupiter as almost like it's encompassing its own solar system. It has so many moons. But for the first time ever, they've looked at a brown dwarf out there, and they're seeing clouds of water vapor.
Wow.
First time water vapor's ever been detected outside our solar system. Oh my gosh, it's a squeaky door. Are you going to a scary place?
Yeah, it's a haunted house out here on the lake.
On the lake.
Creepy.
Gee, Scoop. We're on the shore now. Heading into a haunted house.
We'll find out who's been scaring the bejesus out of the tourists. Here's old man Whippersnapper worrying about his boat rental business.
Yes, might have gotten away with it too. If it wasn't for these blasted kids and their dog.
Life on Titan may be possible without water? Did you hear that?
I heard it just now.
So instead of having water lakes, Titan has methane lakes. And it actually rains methane on Titan.
Now that you mention this, I did see this
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
out there in the information world. I was clicking on links.
Good job.
Thanks.
So they say there may be some organic molecules along with the methane liquid lakes and seas, and some amount of solar energy reaches the surface of Titan also. So this suggests the possibility of an environment that might host an exotic form of life, because you have the solar and you have the liquid.
Right.
And you have some organic compounds. Could make up something that we're not familiar with.
Sure. I mean, you do see in those undersea volcanic vents and stuff some life living in some very different conditions.
I don't want to believe it.
Oh,
I like to dress up denial as skepticism to help me keep seeing the world the way I want to see it.
just keep fishing out here. Ain't a care in the world.
All I need is this lake with no fish in it. All this fertilizer.
I like how we call the Gulf of Mexico a lake.
Oh yeah. That's what I want to think of it as. And this beer?
No amount of evidence is going to suggest otherwise.
All of that science is lying to me.
Yeah, science is just conspiracy to control our minds and push a liberal agenda.
I respect the scientists if they're telling me how to hunt, or if they're telling me how to wash the dishes. If in the case that I have to, in the case that my wife's not doing it.
Right, because she must have burned her hands very badly.
Yeah, but when it comes to putting my beliefs into question, that must be where they're lying and they're trying to gain control over me.
I can't comment on if evolution is a thing, because I'm not a scientist. You know? I'm just a Jesus-loving person. How could I know?
We'd like to thank you for listening to this show here. Natron, you have anything else to add before we journey on with our fishing trip and make our way back to Missouri?
Just get out there, catch yourself a fish this week. Tune in next week.
Instead of so many Pokemon.
Catches Pokemon. Damn it.
Join in our conversation at facebook.com/wherearewepodcast or on Twitter at whereareweshow. Thanks, guys.
See ya.